Hi everyone, my name is Shani and I'm a PhD student in gender, sexuality, and women's studies at Simon Fraser University in Canada. Today I'll be presenting my research entitled Practicing Sanxing Taiji during COVID-19 pandemic in Vancouver. My presentation today is divided into three parts. The first two sections are focused on the introduction of Sanxing Taiji, including its characteristics and history as inspired by Sanxingdui, including a brief introduction of its founder, Master Li Rong. The second part presents the outcomes of practicing Sanxing Taiji during COVID-19 pandemic, including the survey results and a short excerpt of a mini documentary that was made about Sanxing Taiji as part of a community-engaged project. Now, what is Sanxing Taiji? It is a school of Taiji with distinct features, created by a female grandmaster in Vancouver, Canada, in 1997. It has since been brought back to China with an increasing number of followers. Sanxing Taiji is named after Sanxingdui, which translates as three-star mound. It is the name of the Bronze Age culture dating back to 12th century BC. It is also the name of the archaeological site located in modern-day Guanghan in Sichuan, northwest China. Let us watch a brief clip of Sanxing Taiji by practitioners in Sanxingdui, China. It is one of the very few Taiji styles to be choreographed to original music composed by Master Li herself. Sanxing Taiji is a practice that is popular among the old and the young. Here we have a kid's performance of Sanxing Taiji during one of the Chinese New Year celebration on CETV.
继续我们的公开课，天地人和。
Sanxingdui was first chanced upon by a local farmer in 1929, but archaeological excavation was not launched on site until 1934 by Western missionaries of the West China Union University, now known as Sichuan University. It took 52 years before the major discovery of the sacrificial pits in 1986, followed by a series of recent big breakthroughs starting in March 2021, unveiling more Bronze Age artifacts, including a 3,000-year-old golden mask. While mystery continues to shroud this lost civilization, speculations arose that these masks were used by shamans in a ritual setting. Sanxingdui has inspired artistic creations in and beyond China, Sanxing Taiji being one of them. And the most famous one, perhaps, is the creation of Avatar, the movie. Master Li Rong immigrated to Vancouver from China in the early 1990s. She was trained as a professional Wushu athlete from a young age and garnered many championship titles and awards under her belt, including one of the 100 most important martial artists of China. All those years, she was plagued by one question: where and how did Tai Chi originate? In 1997, Master Li found the answer to her question during her visit to Sanxingdui, where she experienced an instantaneous illumination. Upon her return to Canada, Master Li founded a new school of Tai Chi, naming it Sanxing Taiji. The training of Sanxing Taiji is rigorous, and students can take classes up to 5 times a week. A typical class begins with stretching on our own for about 10 to 15 minutes. This interval of time is to allow students to settle into class. The class officially starts with a warm-up session led by Master Li herself or the assistant instructors. The warm-up is done standing up and works top-down from the head to the sole of the feet. After the warm-up, Master Li starts the drilling exercises of basic foundational stances, such as the bow stance, horse stance, and pupu, followed by basic movement exercises. Then there is a short water break. Next, we practice the repertoire sets of Sanxing Taiji Chuan. All students start by learning the first set and gradually progress to the other level. Now I will give a few examples of practices to demonstrate the characteristics of Sanxing Taiji. For my first lesson with Master Li, all she got me to do was to stand, in what I would later gather as the ready posture. This particular way of standing aligns the 3 acupressure points in the body in one straight line, namely the Bai Hui at the crown of the head, Dan Tian just below the navel, and Yong Quan at the sole of the feet. Aligning these 3 acupressure points enables an unobstructed flow of energy throughout the body, from the top to the bottom. A rather distinct feature of Sanxing Taiji is its mudra, which is not seen in other schools of Tai Chi. This is formed by joining the index finger and the thumb in a circle with the rest of the fingers outstretched. This mudra activates the Xiaoshang acupressure point on the thumb and Shangyang acupressure point on the index finger, stimulating the lung meridian and the intestine meridian, improving the circulation and digestive system. This mudra is also seen in Hatha Yoga, which is called Ahamkara Mudra, and Buddhism, which is called Vitakka Mudra. Because the practice of Sanxing Taiji is inspired by Sanxingdui, many of its movements mirror the artifacts unearthed from the archaeological site. Here we have a kneeling figure. Kneeling is also practiced in the Sanxing Taiji class. It is how the ancients sat before chairs were invented, but also a posture that ancients would adopt in ritual ceremonies. In class, students would kneel as a way to calm down and allow the qi or energy to sink into the dantian, which is the energy center below the navel. Second, we would often have our palms joined at the heart center, which is quite unusual in a Tai Chi Chuan class. And here you have another figurine with its palms joined. This arm position, called embracing Taiji, is often done in the opening act of Sanxing Taiji. In Bharatanatyam, dancers perform namaskaram before dancing to pay respect to God, teacher, and audience by touching the ground and asking permission from Mother Earth to stamp on her while dancing. Similarly, in Sanxing Taiji, before starting to move, we enact the opening act of embracing Taiji as a way to pay respect to heaven, earth, and the humankind. On March 16, 2020, Canadian Prime Minister Justine Trudeau announced a nationwide lockdown to contain the spread of COVID-19, closing non-essential businesses, including indoor fitness spaces. Following the restriction, Master Li Rong, who has been teaching Taijiquan and Wushu in Vancouver since the 1990s, adapted quickly and started teaching on Zoom for the first time. By May 2020, she has gathered a group of women online who have never taken up Taijiquan before. A project was initiated in partnership with the Community Engagement Research Initiative at Simon Fraser University to trace the journey of these women learning Taijiquan during the pandemic. A mini-documentary titled Shefu was created as a result and was screened at the 2021 Explore Asian Festival in Vancouver. Let us now watch a 2.5-minute excerpt of the mini-documentary.
我叫 Cindy 啊，我认识李老师是去年疫情的时候，然后在家里也没事，然后4月份母亲节的时候5月份，李老师第一次办网课，然后我就参加了，觉得很好。后来因为在家里疫情期间也没有什么运动，在1年了，将近1年的运动，我觉得收获非常大，身体变得比较柔软，拉筋也做得比较好。
我叫 Ruth 啊，咁我係香港移民嚟嘅，就大概嚟咗呢度係20幾年㗎啦。我今年60歲㗎啦。我開始學太極，我正式開始學太極咧，就係學咗半年到。我最大嘅幫助咧就係個膝頭哥，因為以往我做咗成30年咧都係企喺度嘅工作，咁同埋有時要着高踭鞋添，咁所以咧對於嗰個姿勢啦咁近呢幾年咧嗰個膝頭哥有響啊！行樓梯咧，左響完又到右響，跟住最後期咧就兩隻腳都響啦，每一級都得咁樣。咁但係咧，我初頭咧學咗3個月之後咧，突然之間冇咗喎，咁我就好 surprise 啊！咁我就覺得對我自己係好好，同埋就係個姿勢嘅問題，個肩頸啊嗰方面嘅問題。
今年的你看我们整整1年了，我们是在上网课，虽然他们在家里我们不见面，但是大家都有交流，都有沟通，尽管是在网上，或者有些时候是一种真的是一种无形的。
During the early stages of COVID-19 pandemic, I conducted a survey among Sanxing Taiji participants to investigate the physical and psychological responses of practicing Tai Chi from April 2020 to March 2021. A total of 32 participants took part in the online survey. 23 were female and 9 were male. The high percentage of female respondents reflect the gender ratio of the student community of Sanxing Taiji in Vancouver, and is perhaps correlated to the fact that Master Li is a female teacher. The respondents' age were between mid-30s to 80 years old. The countries of origin of the respondents were Canada and China, with 10 people each, followed by Hong Kong with 6 people. There were 3 other participants from Taiwan, and 1 each from Argentina, Malaysia, and Spain. The demographic of the respondents reflect the diversity of the student community of Sanxing Taiji. The key findings of this survey are: Sanxing Taiji appeals to people from different age and cultural background, especially women. Second, despite the closure of the school and the online delivery of classes throughout the pandemic, 90% of Sanxing Taiji participants still reported an improved flexibility and endurance, while 93% experienced a sense of stress relief and joy. Another survey was ran among nurses in British Columbia, Canada. These nurses participated in a Sanxing Taiji webinar organized by the BC Nursing Union in May 2021. At that point, nurses were experiencing burnout as frontliners of the pandemic. Before the webinar, 50% of the nurses were feeling just okay, and 17% were feeling stressed. After the webinar, 68% felt pretty good, and 23% even felt awesome. As demonstrated through this survey, Taiji has a great potential to contribute to quality healthcare and to improve the overall health status of the population. In broader terms, this research investigates the impact of COVID-19 on physical fitness and cultural participation within an immigrant community in Vancouver, Canada. It was made possible by my 6-year auto-ethnographic study at the Li Rong Wushu and Qigong Academy. While the pandemic has radically changed how communities take part in physical exercise, Sanxing Taiji continues to evolve with new and creative ways as a modern Chinese cultural heritage to suit the daily lives and health requirements of Taijiquan practitioners post-pandemic. Thank you.